Today's video is sponsored by Anvil Vault Breakers. Anvil Vault Breakers is a top-down shooter action game. It mixes together both roguelike elements and multiplayer capabilities. Players set out on distant worlds in search of ancient alien technology, and the bounty awaits for those who make it to the furthest reaches of the universe. Players choose classes that are called Vault Breakers that they can then equip with gear as they progress along with separate skill trees to aid the player in their mission. Of course, each Vault Breaker is uniquely designed with differing abilities, weapons, and skills, so play around with them to find out which best suits your playstyle. There have been some recent updates to the game, including a monthly update in January that added new difficulty levels, allowing players to play from easy to extreme difficulty. Vietnamese, Italian, and Thai language has also newly been added in that January update. As well as that, a new season will be going live in March that will feature a new play mode called Journey, along with a new breaker. Anvil Vault Breakers supports cross-platform between Xbox and Steam. Link to download the game is in the video description below. Make sure you check it out. The winter 2022 season has kicked off and has already given us a contender for Best Girl of the Year. And I know we are only a few weeks into 2022 and there is still a lot more to come. But Marin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling has burst onto the scene and captured all of our attention. She has just been all over social media and, it forced me to check out the show, which again is another big hitter. I personally think that we haven't had a really good seasonal anime for quite a while. Yes, there has been many great shows and some that I think, needed more attention, but none that have had the impact that My Dress Up Darling is creating so far. The show itself has a very simple premise, but it has been executed brilliantly so far. We are introduced to Gojo, who is a high school student living with his grandfather who owns a Hina doll store. Our boy Gojo dreams of becoming a Hina doll craftsman just like him. So Gojo is a guy that has very low self-esteem and is ultimately a recluse due to a bad incident he had in his youth where he was bitterly criticized by his childhood friend for his fascination with these Hina dolls. Well, she said that a boy should not be playing with girls' dolls in a very harsh way, and thus our guy has never had a real friend since, which I can relate. You've seen my figure collection, right? That's until he met Winter 2022's best girl, Marin. Marin is the complete opposite of Gojo. She is extremely popular, energetic, and not afraid to show her pride in the things that she likes, regardless of others' opinions. One day, she stumbles across him sewing doll costumes, and, in awe of his sewing skill, Marin asks him to create a costume of a character from a video game that she loves. Gojo had never made a costume on a human scale before, but was inspired by Marin's personality and agrees to make one for her. So yeah, like I said, simple premise to set what the show is about up, but it's just executed so well. Both characters are extremely likable and relatable, but Marin is just something else. And from what I've seen of her plastered over social media and from what I have, witnessed myself from checking out the show, I instantly got those Rent-A-Girlfriend vibes. Where a show just pops up, it's done right, animated beautifully, and it has one hell of a best girl that draws you in. Marin so far has all those qualities. First of all, she is a total babe. Straight off the bat, we get to see her eccentric personality, and she pulls the best expressions to match this. She is just in your face with pure positive vibes. And yeah, the girl is an absolute stunner. I mentioned the show was animated well, making those pinkish eyes and blonde hair of hers pop, but her design is just eye-catching. The OP also gives us a look at her in a handful of different attires, which she just looks freaking nice in all of them. Talking of nice, she's a best girl, and what comes with that is of course the sex appeal. Episode 2, we straight up get our girl in a swimsuit, and the whole episode is pretty much that. Sounds pretty simple, sounds pretty degenerate, but one, I'm a man of culture, so yes, degenerate, but two, again, it's a nod to, how that was the episode, yet it was done so well in terms of telling a story. We saw the characters of both Marin and Gojo in a better light, and the bond between the two start to develop, and how she is going to be a huge part of what will change Gojo's character into something completely different from what he is now. But going back to the degeneracy for a second, Marin is a perfect cocktail of confident, sexy, with a little innocence thrown in there. I personally don't think that any of us are going to forget, the swimsuit anytime soon. Now, one of the things I really loved about that episode was the part where her confidence is taken away and she is seen blushing. That was just some of the cutest shit I have ever seen. And I won't lie, that was, pretty much the moment for me in which I was a huge fan of hers. Marin has just got a killer personality too. Yeah, yes, being a hottie is one thing, but to be considered a contender for Best Girl of the Year is having the full package, which of course does include the personality of said girl. Marin is a girl who, just straight up says things as they are. She speaks her mind and is not ashamed of being who she is or liking what she likes. And for the purpose of the story, we are going to see some great character development on Gojo's behalf because of her. She already has opened his eyes on more than one occasion. No lewd intention there, I promise. I promise. She tells him that he really needs to speak his mind and that it's for his own sake. She also said that you shouldn't be ashamed or embarrassed for liking what you do. And can I just say, her reaction to seeing his Hina doll was perfect. He was expecting the absolute worst and she straight out called it a hottie. But the most important thing here was that she acknowledged his interest and didn't abuse him for it. For Gojo, he would never show or tell anyone besides his grandfather of his interest, but after this incident with Marin, I honestly think he will start to open up a bit more. Maybe not just about his hobby, but open up as a person, whether he wants to or not, of course, as Marin, I'm sure will put him in some pretty interesting circumstances. Going back to Marin, I just love how this girl is a bit clumsy when it comes to the details. It just says to me that she is a girl who dreams big and just wants to get to that destination, though the addition of Gojo by her side, who does pick up on said things, will only improve her character. Which is the beauty of this somewhat simple story. We get to see how these polar opposites will complement one another and improve the other. Plus, there is the age-old cliche of opposites attract, so that will also lend a hand into the romance that I think will inevitably begin to spark between these two as the series progresses. Now, let's talk about something here that really makes Marin such a best girl. She's a freaking otaku, man. She is one of us. Not only that, but she is, of course, a cosplayer too. We've seen a little dream of Gojo's where she is cosplaying, and man, damn, she looked so good in that. You guys know I'm already partial to a girl in a gothic Lolita dress, so that scene also had my eyes firmly peeled on the screen. I also really love, as a side note, just how the series plays these subtle jokes about anime, manga, and games. So yeah, early days for this anime and this year, but I can confidently say that I believe Marin will be considered as a contender for Best Girl of the Year by the end of the year, if that made sense. She already takes the title for this season's Best Girl, but I'm also really looking forward to seeing more from her character and, the show as the season progresses. So, if you haven't checked this one out, make sure you give My Dress Up Darling a bash, because for me, it's been a seasonal show that I'm just really excited to watch. I can't wait for next week. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I basically saw this character, fell in love with her, and wanted to make a video about her and, of course, the show, because I think it has potential to be a killer series to watch. But what are your thoughts on Marin? Is it too early to be classing her as a 2022 Best Girl contender? Will she survive her initial hype? And, are you enjoying this show? The comment section, guys. The comment section is all yours. Now, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the like button as it really helps the channel out. For more anime content just like this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next videos go live. As always, a huge shout out to Warwick, Animator22, Brian, Blake, Andrew, BS Tuna, Kivase, Chris, Estauhai, Zintak, and Brother Gray for supporting me on Patreon. Feel free to check out the link in the description below to see what rewards are on offer now. But that is it from me. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!